Today, we're going to take a test. It's a test to see whether or not we're a good person. Will we pass? Well, probably not, but considering the source, that's no surprise. It isn't really a test that I'd want to pass. So let's go take a look. I came across this cartoon from Ray Comfort's Living Waters Ministry. It's supposed to be a test to see if you're a good person, with the obvious conclusion that you can never be a good person because you're a vile sinner that needs to kiss God's ass for forgiveness. But what if you don't buy into any of that and you'd still like to try to take the test? That's what I want to find out today. So we start off with Mr. Nice Guy, and apparently he wants to go to heaven. Why? There's no reason to think heaven exists. You can be a good person without wanting to get rewarded for it. There's also no reason to take the 10 Commandments seriously. Most of them are wholly irrational. All the stuff about keeping holy days and not offending an imaginary man in the sky, you can just throw all of those out. They're stupid. Being a good person has nothing to do with any of that. But this is Ray Comfort we're talking about, right? Next, he asks if Mr. Nice Guy here has ever told a lie. Yeah, Ray, you're one to talk, considering how many cases of deliberate quote mining and misquoting he's been found guilty of. According to Peter Nonax of An Interview with Creationist, Filmmaker, and Banana Enthusiast Ray Comfort, he says, every substantive discussion I have had with Ray has been either quote-unquote lost or ended up on the cutting room floor. Why? Because Ray doesn't have anything intelligent to say in response. The only way he can make a point is to misrepresent the points made by others. It's kind of his shtick. Is anyone surprised? Now, this one makes no sense at all, but again, nobody can really be surprised. Just because one admits to telling lies, that doesn't mean that everything they say is a lie. Hey Ray, have you ever raped a moose? No, you say? Well, we've already established that you're a liar, so, it's just stupid when you think about it. I haven't. I've never stolen a thing. I haven't even seen the inside of a jail cell. I've never been in a courtroom except as a witness. I have no criminal record of any kind. But I guess I'm still a bad person because I don't believe in this imaginary father figure in the sky of yours. I'm still better than Ray Comfort, because he's a moose fucker. Have you ever looked at anyone with lust? Maybe, I don't know. Not a very, very, very long time, though. I mean, my wife doesn't count. I'm allowed to look at her that way. It's not possible to commit adultery with someone that you're actually married to. But, Ray and the moose. Well, you get the idea. Then again, I don't give a damn what it says in Ray's big book of multiple choice, so I'm not bound by any of those silly laws and ideas. The whole idea of sin is absurd. There's no one to demonstrably sin against, hence the whole idea of sin is just stupid. Have I ever used God's name to curse? Well, goddamn right I have, but I don't care because I don't think God is real. It means no more to me than saying Cthulhu, damn it. Big deal. It's a made-up name for an imaginary deity. Who cares? And again, we come back to the 10 Commandments, which don't mean a damn thing in the first place. So Mr. Nice Guy has violated 4 irrelevant rules, and I guess that makes him a bad person. Join the club. But we're all still better than Ray Comfort. Again, sins don't matter. I don't care if I sin according to your silly book and your absurd beliefs. Oh no, I'm not going to your imaginary magic place in the sky. The horror, the horror. Yeah, I'm supposed to care why again? Because I don't. I just don't. If you want me to care, then you can prove with objective evidence that this God thing of yours is real and that what is contained in the Bible is demonstrably true. Get back to me on that, Ray. Yeah, Ray. Maybe we ought to do that to you, because I'm sure you've got some disgusting stuff up there. Stuff you want to do with bananas and the like. Ew. Okay, I now have an image of naked Ray Comfort and Kirk Cameron with a bunch of bananas. Excuse me, I need to go bleach my brain. So, God's a voyeur. God gets off watching you masturbate. Really, what's wrong with this God of yours, Ray? What's wrong with you for believing in such a thing? That's yet another place that this whole thing gets so silly. It's just abject paranoia. Someone is going to find out, so you better not think any bad thoughts, and you better not perform any bad deeds, or you're going to get caught. It's childish. You have to be personally responsible for your own actions and deal with the consequences thereof. The idea that some magic man is staring through a cosmic glory hole at you, it's just creepy. And you people believe it. Actually, God's laws have absolutely no bearing on reality whatsoever. You cannot be thrown into jail for violating any of the 10 Commandments. Laws, yes. Commandments, no. Because the Bible is a load of bunk. And it's funny that everyone in that picture, they're all religious. Hitler was a Catholic who thought God wanted him to murder the Jews. The KKK is a Christian organization. Generic Muslim terrorist. The last one, I don't know, I'm assuming that's supposed to be someone like Manuel Noriega, who was a lifelong Catholic, and he had a jailhouse conversion to a full-blown evangelical Christian. I'd expect them to put in someone like Stalin or Mao, but nope, it's all theists. Each of us will give account to God. You know, the biggest mythical mass murderer in history. Somehow, I reject his right to judge me for much of anything. God is a rapist, guilty of genocide and mass murder. He's ordered violence upon innocents and facilitated same. He set up a system whereby the majority of people will be tortured for all eternity for no demonstrable crimes. I can't imagine a bigger moral monster than the Christian God. And he presumes to judge me. Fuck him and everyone who bows down to him. No way in hell. But won't God just forgive me? I mean, that is the whole basis of Christianity after all, right? Believe in Jesus and you'll go to heaven, no matter what you've done, so long as you ask for forgiveness. But then Ray goes into the biggest disaster so far. So let me set this up because apparently Ray can't see what he's doing. Ray isn't all that bright after all. So he asked the judge if he can't just let it slide. You know, that judge who's actually real, unlike this imaginary friend of Ray's. But anyhow, that's the setup. Watch what Ray does. Justice demands that you pay for your crimes. Yeah, and then God sends Jesus to die for everyone else's sins so that nobody actually has to pay for their crimes. You know, those crimes that don't actually exist in the first place. Substitutionary atonement is not justice. It's like willing all the sins of the tribe into a pig and then chasing it out into the wilderness. That's really what Jesus is, after all. But that doesn't actually mean justice has been done. It just means the people pretend that it's all gone, and then they can play nice for another year until they just do it all over again. Justice does not mean that you send an innocent man to death so everyone else can feel better about themselves. What stupidity is this? Which is the dumbest damn thing you could possibly come up with? Let's just make up an imaginary sacrifice so that we can stop feeling bad about violating arbitrary and unrealistic rules that we can't possibly keep anyhow, so that we can just keep feeling good about ourselves. Seriously, who came up with this crap? Ray, are you listening to this? This is just ridiculous. Well, that's the story. A story that can't be rationally backed up in any way, shape, or form. But how is this any different than saying the flying spaghetti monster whisks away your evil transgressions with her magical noodly appendages? What does that actually mean, and how is any of this actually just? It's where all this religious rubbish just becomes laughably absurd. Why would anyone in their right mind believe this? All right, nobody does. Spread the religious mind poison, and make sure you send them to Ray Comfort so he can make a bundle. I mean, he is making over $120,000 a year, and half of his family is on the payroll as well. It's all just a scam. And of course, that doesn't count any of the money that he makes outside of Living Waters Ministries. I just don't understand how people can look at this stuff and not see the very clear and obvious problems that beleaguer it. The only reason anyone takes any of it seriously is because it makes them feel good. It makes no sense. Certainly Ray Comfort makes no sense pushing any of it, but when your feels are all you care about, you can shut down your brain and just act on emotion. And I don't get that. I just don't. But try to have an intelligent discussion with them and it all just falls apart. They just don't work that way. They never have and they never will. You can be a good person without being religious. In fact, you're probably a much better person than they are. At least you're not doing it for some crazy imaginary reward. You're doing it because you're actually a good person. Maybe the religious ought to give that a shot.
Boom,